AEW. Not a lot. Just enough to remind me why I don't watch it. Oh, this is already funny. Just the headline. The list of moves and actions that are now banned from AEW or need to be approved by the company.
Maybe that's why Nash is pissed off, because he went for Rock and Austin and not try to duplicate him.
Well, it'd be easier to duplicate him. You only have to learn 5 moves.
Like you said, and we've all been saying, Tony Khan, you need a hierarchy, and he gets one, and then we make fun of it.
Because he's sitting back there talking about the Brock match, and finally we had a wrestling match. Finally we got 2 guys telling a story. They weren't outside in the ring the whole time. One of them
was he not watching the same match as we were?
Yeah, those games, man, I would say, like, for me, like, the best ones, I would say, are, like, the ones where they try to get a certain, like, time.
This is my entire IT team right here on screen. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Wrestlechat with Vince McMahon. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Wrestlechat. Once again, technical. Let's try that. Boom. There we go. We're going to pick up where we left off. I went at 2:30 this morning and uploaded a real quick stream when I saw the video that I saw that had taken place a few hours earlier in L.A., which you got to remember the time difference there, 6 hours, I believe, 4 hours, one or the other. It's a big gap of hours. Quentin, if you're not, at this point in time, I don't know that anyone's not aware at all of what happened, although Jay hadn't heard about it until just a few minutes ago, so it's possible some of you haven't caught up on this. Quentin Rampage Jackson, very famously known from the UFC days, his son, who's now famous for the wrong reasons, Raja Jackson, somehow got invited to a Knox Pro Wrestling, that's a Knox. No, try it again. Knox Pro Wrestling. They got to have a fucked up way of spelling it, of course. And they're based out of L.A. They, as of yesterday, and probably this morning, are a WWE ID wrestling promotion. And if you're not familiar with that, that is where you train wrestlers and the WWE will entertain looking at their video or entertain having them come out for dark matches to see based on the promoter of the company saying, hey, you should look at this guy. So in this case, when we talk about the promoter / owners, we are talking about Rikishi, who is one half owner, and I don't know the bloodline relationship between him and the Black Pearl. I know why. But if you look at the Black Pearl, he looks very much like an older Roman Reigns. Could be an older brother or maybe an uncle, but strong resemblance to Roman Reigns. So, at the end of the day, the Anoa'i family-owned Wrestling Academy. They decide to somehow or another invite Rampage in. I guess he had some sort of a following on Kick, which, if you're not familiar, is kind of a Twitter for fighting. Although, isn't Twitter all about fighting nowadays? Anyway. They bring him back, and it's hours before the show. All the guys are kind of hanging out in the back parking lot area, which I guess was probably doubling as a dressing area. And he gets into this altercation that only some people kind of knew was scripted and others didn't know. And one of the others that didn't know was apparently Raja. you don't let the guy in on it that's going to get hit with a beer can. So he sells it because it was an empty beer can, didn't hurt him in any way other than pissed off his ego, and he was live streaming to his audience this entire time. We're going to pick it up pretty much from there. But before we do, let me make an adjustment here. Let me make a click here. And as always, let me bring in my sidekick, my partner in crime, the one, the only, the man who just found out about it a half hour ago. This is J-Rocks. Say hello, Jay.
Hello, Jay.
All right, we're working on sound levels. Everything's a little bit different, not using StreamYard. Doesn't do auto balancing and stuff, so. Anyway, So yeah, Jay, you hadn't even heard about this till about 30 minutes ago. We started normally when Jay and I do this, there's no like, I'll just send him a link. He's in the green room. I go on, and that's what I kind of always wanted this to be, was a chat. I didn't want it to be a scripted thing. I didn't want us to be going over stuff in advance, because I feel like you were losing some of that chatter that kind of goes on when we're just bullshitting. So that's kind of why we don't normally do that. Today, however, we talked a little bit just so I knew that he was completely up to speed on what's going on, and that talk was just escalating. I was like, we're doing this off air. Let's go on. So here we are. Now we can go in and finish what we were starting to talk about. But just to get everyone 100% up to speed, in case somehow or another you didn't see what happened, and there's one clip we're going to show here that I just got done watching Stevie Richards talk about it for 40 minutes. Didn't show this. I watched JD last night for quite a bit. He may have shown it, but I didn't see him show what I'm about to show in just a moment.
No, I was going to say he didn't show it on the one I was watching. He said he wouldn't show it.
Well, no, I'm not talking about the punches. I'm talking about the aftermath. But we'll cover that in a second. So,
okay.
What I showed yesterday was the blurred out version of the punches. I'm not monetized. I ain't worried about it. And I think it really goes a long way to show how severe this really was. So it's going to start out with this part. We have a guy named, what the hell? AJ something or other. I forget it. Not Styles, obviously. AJ something or other. He's the guy in the black cowboy hat, okay? And we're about to see him right now interacting with Raja moments after the beer can incident. Okay, that just happened a few moments earlier, and now they're heading into the hallway, and then Raja's going to go sit front row, watch the matches, and then when it's his time, he's going to run in. Now, there's not even a guardrail. You're literally just sitting front row, and that's it. Raja was already a little bit loopy to begin with, just like mentally thinking stupid. This guy didn't help matters in any way, and here's what I'm talking about.
When you run in on his shit, you give him his receipt. Remember what a receipt is. Give him that receipt. Go tag his shit. If you got a problem with it, I'll run out there. Tag his shit, bro.
So here you got one of the boys going up to him, telling him tag his shit. Now, if the boy didn't understand what selling is, and now you're telling him get a receipt, damn it, I'm getting tired of this shit. I got to start doing this differently. I know how to do it differently because I hate when that happens. But if you're over there as one of the boys telling him to get out there and tag him, you're giving him a green light to do what happened. And the other part of the story is that they had said the way it'll work is you'll go in there. The plan was a double leg, take him down, and then a bunch of guys are going to come in and jump on you. Just get the hell out of the ring right away. So his argument is, I was waiting on them to jump on me, and they didn't, so I hit them. Got my receipt, and I kept getting receipts. What do you make of AJ here, giving him these instructions?
He should be kicked out of that fucking promotion. End of story. If the promoters don't do it, then the other boys should say, get the fuck out. We're not working with you, because you don't tell a non-wrestler, go get your receipt. Because like you said, a receipt is one shot.
Yeah. And it's not a kill shot.
He hit you with a beer can. No.
An empty beer can.
He hit him with a beer can. Right. So the most you get is a punch, a solid punch to the fucking face. That's it.
A trained MMA fighter, I wouldn't agree with that. An empty beer can did no damage. It did no damage.
I know what I'm saying is that's how a receipt is done. You get one shot.
Yeah, but it's normally of equal proportion.
And then it's done.
It's normally of equal proportion to damage. If somebody grazes you across the cheek, you shouldn't knock them out.
Well, I have. I've gotten a receipt where I knocked somebody the fuck out.
Did they hit you that hard to justify it?
No, they made me look bad in the ring. They didn't sell for me, so they got knocked the fuck out. You will sell one way or the other.
Well, I can tell you right now that old
So-
Psycho Stu, he sold.
He didn't get a chance to sell.
Yeah, he sold all the way to the emergency room. He sold. All right. Here's what actually happened. No blurring it out this time, and it's as real as it gets. I'm not sure. Let me see if we have the actual lead up to it. No, he's already down at this point. He basically had him in an Alabama slam, but I mean, he had him like really hanging down the backside. And when he flipped him over, what's that?
I was going to say that was more of a shoot takedown. That was an MMA move. That was not.
I've never seen
Alabama
MMA
slam.
drape a guy down over their back like a cape, like Superman's cape.
He only had him. I went and watched it. He only had him over the one shoulder like this, and then brought him down. It was almost like a martial arts throw, is what it looked like.
It looked to me like the whip action on that thing. His head smashed off the canvas. He was unconscious before the first punch. There's just no two ways about it. So we pick it up from the point where the punching begins. 21. Now look at his referee. And even this wrestling dude here, whatever he's supposed to be. And then finally somebody gets in there with a little bit of size. Whoever says size don't matter, never been in a situation like that before. But, I mean, the referee was absolutely a dick-turd piece of shit. Now, I know you're not a trained fighter. None of you are probably in that match. Certainly not that dude with his face painted up. You can look at those arms. He ain't had an athletic moment in his life. But to sit there and watch one of your guys, and listen, now I don't know. Everything I've heard about Stu is like he's a pretty chill dude. But unless this guy Stu really had no love in the locker room, because they just left him to hang out. I'll tell you right now, if I'm him, the day I'm able to, I come back to work with a well-hidden baseball bat. And the first guy I'm going after is the referee. Then I'm going after the guy with the white face paint. And there was somebody else, probably the booker, yeah. Oh, no, I know who I was saying, AJ, the cowboy.
Yeah.
And I'll end up in prison. That's perfectly fine. But you motherfuckers are going to be comatose before I leave this. Before I get handcuffs on me, you're going to be comatose. I would go after AJ first in case you didn't get to the other two. I'd go to AJ first. I would crack him with that bat.
The other thing that pissed me off when I was watching it is that locker room should have fucking emptied when the first two punches were landed. There should have been 10 fucking guys in that fucking ring, and none of them came out. Fuck that.
Yeah, woulda, coulda, shoulda. All right, in a second here, we are going to see the clip that nobody else is showing. Remember, WWEID organization. So in the back corner here, they've got Raja all tied up now with like 4 or 5 wrestlers pinning him in the corner. Referee's about to throw up the X. And then watch how this goes down. Let me cover him. They delivered the fucking 3 count. Are you shitting me? So the guy who covered him, he gets a baseball bat too. For this reason alone, that promotion should be shut down, put out of business. Rikishi, you don't know better? You allow this bullshit under your banner? Fuck off. All you do is bitch all day long that your son's not being booked right, and you can't do shit better on your end, Betty, so shut the fuck up and close shop. You're an embarrassment.
Yeah.
Absolute fucking embarrassment all the way around. Bringing this piece of shit in, not letting him know what's going to happen, making sure he's okay with it. You know, Stevie, the reason Stevie Richards' show is just jumping up week after week in the ratings is he's always so clear on things that nobody else is talking about. And one of the things he was talking about today with this is not everyone has the disposition for this. You have to be willing to let someone embarrass you. That's the story. Then later you get your comeuppance. But some people don't have that mentality. And case in point, they fucking pinned him. I mean, the only reason I wouldn't even come close to likening this to Owen Hart is this guy didn't die. But what if he had? Because one more punch and that could have easily happened. He had blood coming out of his ears. He was literally, they were saying he was flatlined in the ring. They couldn't bring him back. I mean, this guy was seriously serious. The fact that he's home resting right now is a miracle. Absolute miracle.
Right.
And there's a lot of people saying there's no way he'll be normal again after this. Like he's probably his last match. Guy's a Army veteran dealing with PTSD. This was helping him. Wrestling helped him deal with that. And then you got this piece of shit.
Right.
I'll tell you what. There are times where it's just embarrassing. We're going to take another look here at a clip of Rampage Jackson. When you get before the judge and he's ready to sentence your dumbass, they're going to want character references. I don't know how much a better character reference you can get than your dad. So let's see what Dad has to say about his son.
What he said.
Let's see what Dad has to say about his son.
Rogers and his oldest son whole life, I knew them two wasn't going to college. And my two Japanese kids, I knew that it was going to college. So I saved up college tuition for the two Japanese kids and bail money for Roger and his brother. So don't fuck with him. If you go to jail, I'm just going to bail him out.
Great fathering skills right there. Great parenting skills, Rampage. I can't imagine why he turned out to be a piece of shit. No idea.
Now, see, that's not the video I saw.
That's why I'm collecting these.
Video I saw, the one I saw was him sitting in the car saying he was going, if charges get pressed, he's going to the wrestling organization and beat all the motherfuckers' asses and everything like that. That's what I was talking about. Good fucking role model.
Yeah, and then you wonder why his son turned out to be the sack of shit that he is.
Yeah.
I knew my two sons were, now he says he has two Japanese sons. Does that mean you had him with a female who was Japanese, or did you adopt? I don't know. I'm not clear on that.
He's had a couple different wives.
Okay, so you're racially defining your children. So again, that goes a long way to explain everything, doesn't it? Wow, just absolute shitbag city. I knew two of them were going to go to college. The other two weren't going to go to college, so I saved bail money for them. So don't fuck with them because I'm going to bail them out. You can't bail them out of prison, buddy. You can bail them out of jail, and that's assuming that, hey, not all criminals get bail posting. There may not be a bond available.
Especially if he cracked his orbital bones in his face with those punches,
dude,
that's a first-degree felony.
Dude.
That is...
Dude, the report, he was in the ring unconscious choking on his own blood and teeth. Multiple.
Yeah, that's a felony assault. He's not getting fucking bail.
And then the question was...
The judge is fucking stupid.
Well, then the question was, what if Stu decides not to press charges? And there are certain state-by-state criteria, and it is fucking Los Angeles, which is why I said it last night or early this morning at 2 a.m., and I'll say it again now. I don't think he serves jail time. Because he's in a bluest of blue states. He's a minority hitting a white guy. The white guy hit him with a beer can without him knowing about it. This other guy egged him on. I mean, I feel like I could be his defense attorney and get him out. It would not be hard to make that argument. Now, in a rational society, we'd look at that and say, fucking stupid. If you're too stupid to understand what that means, then you're going to have to think about it in jail for a couple of years. But it's California. In California, they like their convicts out on the street. They like their OJs. OJ had to go to Vegas to get arrested and imprisoned.
Yeah.
California lets him out. So I don't think he serves any jail time. Maybe jail time, waiting for the court case kind of thing or whatever time he serves in the meantime. They haven't arrested him officially yet. That's got to happen in the next 24 hours. I can't imagine. It's probably happening now as we speak. And then he'll probably bond out.
With Stu being an ex-veteran, he better hope he goes to fucking prison, because if he leaves California, there will be some ex-military people who will fucking finish the job.
I'll tell you, man, it's mind-boggling.
And I won't feel sorry for him. If I hear about it the next 6 months, if he does not serve jail time and he gets off, I will not be surprised if in 6 months somebody says such and such ex-military murdered son of Rampage Jackson for what he did, blah, blah, blah. Be like, serves you fucking right.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I'm just... I want more information on who invited him. Haven't heard that details yet. Who told, and the story's going to come out eventually, who told Stu, you're going to work with this guy, hit him with a beer can, or was that improvised on his own, thinking this guy just going to know how to work? Because when the whole beer can thing happens, the guy who steps in immediately, that is the Black Pearl. So it's got to be Roman's uncle, I would think. He looked too old to be in like a brotherly scenario. But the photograph on their official website, he looks much younger there. And in that picture, he looks a little older than Roman today. But that's probably a 10-year-old photo is my guess. Because Rikishi's photo looks a lot better, too.
Right.
And they're listed as the trainers. It didn't say they were the owners, but I did some more digging, and apparently, yeah, it's their company.
I would have to say he was told that the guy was going to work with him and stuff. So he, probably as a wrestler, you always assume if you're in the back and you're told somebody's going to work, then, you assume they know what's going on.
Yeah, but if you're going to hit somebody with a beer can, if you're going to hit somebody over there with a beer can to set up an angle, are you not going to discuss it? You're just going to...
He discussed it with...
No, but they didn't discuss it with each other.
I know, but what I'm saying is maybe it was discussed with the booking team and they said, okay, we'll let him know. And if they didn't, that's on them.
Now, I'm going to look a little bit differently on that, because at the end of the day, if I'm the guy going to pick up a can and hit it over a guy's head who's not an actual wrestler, who actually could fuck me up in real life, I want to make sure he's aware of what's going to happen. You just don't trust other people to take care of your business, especially in a rinky-dink promotion. I don't know.
I know I've worked a few. I understand, but I'm just saying that's if.
Would you do that?
I've seen the miscommunications.
Would you do that?
No.
Okay.
I've seen the because I've seen the miscommunications.
And
I'm just saying from that.
Sure.
I figured that's probably what happened.
And they said Stu's been wrestling 15 years. So how many more before he would have thought of that? Yeah. This is my point. You got to, again, he is the victim. But at the same point in time, you got to be a little responsible for yourself. At what point in time are you responsible for what part of this? 90% of it is on Raja, period. But there's a little more culpability available out there for other people. And when I say 90% on Raja, I mean on Raja's actions that he made. In other words, Raja's got to own 90% of what he did. Now we start breaking down the company and what percentage is due to AJ the Cowboy, what percentage is due to whoever invited him there in the first place, not telling him he's going to get hit with a can. Or is it possible that Stu just decided to pick up a can and we're going to work this spot out? Because the way it started out, I don't remember what part of the whole video was there yesterday. The way it started out was, you don't know who I am? And then Raja basically said, I never no idea who the fuck you are. And then he reaches over, picks up the beer can, hits him with it. And again, I'm not going to do that to a guy that I know can legitimately fuck me up unless we've talked it out and he's cool with it. which clearly
And
doesn't
again,
appear
this
to have
could fall
happened.
back on the booker because you don't let. Well, the other thing I was going to say was, if you have somebody come in like that and you want them to work an angle, you take the person that works for your promotion and the outside person both into the office there as soon as the other person gets there and hash the shit out before you come out. And you don't just fucking let them loose into the fucking backstage area. You don't. This is what I was saying to you before we started.
And
Every promotion I worked in, before somebody came to the back into the backstage, they had to go through the office and talk to the booker or the owner or whatever before they were even released out into it. Again,
he probably did.
Like I said, with that falls on Rikishi and them.
He probably did. I don't think he just had nothing better to do on a freaking Sunday night and showed up there. He was invited.
No, you was invited. Yes, I get that, but I'm just saying, yeah, but you don't just wander into the back.
Well, I don't know that he did
just
just wander into the back. I mean, it's
like
same.
I said, I've worked.
It definitely feels like there was massive miscommunication going down on this whole thing. That the right hand didn't know what the left hand was doing, and good Lord, I mean, the more I think about what happened as a result, your audio's cutting in and out. Are you there?
Well, I ain't saying anything.
Oh, a minute ago you were, but then the words kept jumbling up.
I am now.
Yeah, now I hear you fine. Oh.
Okay.
Anyway, the good news is he is home. We don't know what kind of lingering effects. Be interesting to find out there. One thing that Stevie was talking about is the insurance that these little rinky-dink companies have to carry most of the time can be in the ballpark of $1 million worth of insurance. I'll be willing to bet that their insurance company will drop them immediately after this. And good luck finding someone else to pick it up. Which you deserve that, Rikishi. But you're also going to now affect other wrestling promotions that want to start up. The same way you can't buy house insurance in the state of Florida thanks to the hurricanes. You're going to end up damaging independent wrestling where they can't get insurance to cover themselves because of that asshole in L.A. and what happened that made the friggin' news and it viral. He wanted to go viral. He got that. I don't know that he's just such a dumb shit. Such a dumb shit. There's a reason he wasn't going to college.
That's the other. Did you play the part where he was sitting at ringside when the match was going on and he was like, I'm just going to get in there and I'm going to fuck that motherfucker up and da 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 da.
Yeah, I played it last night or early this morning. I didn't play it on this one now. So basically, and that's the other thing, too, they're trying to say, if you read some of these news reports, that's why I think he's going to get away with it. These news reports are so slanted all the damn time. Moments earlier before this incident, he was hit in the head with a beer can. No, not moments earlier. Hours earlier. He had plenty. And by the way, they shook hands. They mended fences. He made him understand, I thought you were in on it. That's my bad. I'm sorry. Yeah, no worries. We're all good. And then 2 hours later, you did this. Not moments later. And for those 2 hours, what were you doing? Watching the matches? No. You're busy tweeting back and forth, or whatever K calls it, whatever Kick calls their shit. And you're interacting with your chat the entire time. And your cameraman is there to cover this whole thing. So he's recording you. You're on mic. And you're over there saying, no, man, they said I could hit him for real. I'm going to hit him as much as I can. I'm going to knock this motherfucker out. I'm going to do this to him. I always wanted to get in one of his quotes, and I'm going to take it a little bit out of context, but I mean, he said, I always wanted to get in the ring with a professional wrestler for real and beat the shit out of him. Something very close to that. I mean, the words may be a little here and there, but basically he wanted to hurt a professional wrestler in a wrestling ring. And he keeps on saying all these different quotes for an hour and a half before he does this. So any good prosecuting attorney is going to have him in jail for a minimum of 5 years with no time for parole, no early release. But it's California.
Yeah, because Well, like JD said, he's like, to him, that's premeditation because you kept saying over and over, I'm
Sure.
going to do this. I'm going to do this. And it's all on video.
Yeah.
It's all on fucking tape.
I mean, defense attorney, like I said, I feel like I could be his defense attorney, but I know it's not going to be fun. But since we're going over the tape, let's go over all the tape. Here's AJ telling him what to do. My client doesn't know a damn thing about pro wrestling. He's a real fighter. So when you tell my real fighter who got hit in the head with a beer can less than a week after taking a concussion in a real fight, and you tell him he can get a receipt, and he's waiting for people to pull him off, and nobody pulls him off. First he gets yelled at for not selling. Now he's getting in trouble for doing what he said he was going to do, and they're supposed to pull him off, but they're really not. I mean, the referee's like waving high at him. And the other guy's kind of like, okay, that's enough now. Good boy, that's enough. Now, if I just get off of him, I'm not selling right. I'm acting like it's a fake thing. No one's going to believe it. That doesn't excuse really landing bombs on the guy. But I'm just saying, I could make a case. And probably the only way, I mean, I guarantee you, whatever defense attorney he gets, unless he actually cops to it and just decides to plea bargain it out, I got a funny feeling that they're going to fight this thing, and that is the only angle they're going to have.
Yeah.
And it's California, and I seriously think they'll get away with it. So we'll document this one here and look back on it months from now and see who was right. Did he go to jail or did he not? What do you think?
I agree with you. I don't think he'll go to jail, but I do think somebody will take it into their own hands down the road on him, and it won't be pretty.
Okay, that's a different perspective. I don't know that anyone really gives that big a shit. Well, if I would say if it's going to happen down the road, it's going to be me doing it myself. In other words, if I'm Stu, I'd be the one taking care of it.
I know enough ex-veterans and stuff like that who watch wrestling and follow wrestling and don't take kindly to shit like this against veterans. So with him having PTSD and being an ex-veteran, that's why I said there's plenty of them out there that will catch Raja out there somewhere by himself. And if they don't just put him in intensive care, they'll put him 6 feet fucking under.
At least.
Or he might come up missing. Who the fuck knows? I mean, if they've got those
shit
mental
happens.
issues, like
shit happens.
I mean, I have no sympathy for Raja. I really don't. And it's not a race thing. It's a fucking stupidity thing. You know what wrestling is. You know what fucking wrestling is.
Well, he might not.
You're a wrestler or not.
He might not.
Come off. Come off.
What?
No.
Look, what I'm saying, I'm not suggesting that he thinks that they're really hitting each other. What I'm saying is I don't think he understands terminology. So when a guy who's one of the boys in the back not only encourages you to tag him and get a receipt, and I have your back if anyone tries to do anything about it, that tells me, who is not in the business, that I'm allowed to hit this motherfucker. He's a big, tough guy. He'll take it. And I was also told they're going to pull me off of him.
The cowboy is now his accomplice, or whatever they call it when there's two of you.
Yeah, somebody brought that up, and it won't work that way.
Co-defendant.
Yeah, well, that...
Why? Because he told him to do it.
No. What he told him is wrestling terminology that he didn't understand. He did not tell him to pummel him beyond unconsciousness with 21 unprotected shots to the head to the point where blood was coming out of his ears. He did not give him that instruction, nor would he have, I don't believe, unless he really just didn't like Stu for some reason. What he told him is you can get your receipt. You can tag his shit. He didn't say knock him into a hospital.
Okay, well, then it's all on Raja then.
It is.
You have to fucking do it.
But the cowboy is going to be his defense attorney's loophole to help get him out of this. Smooth Realism says he literally said that he understood after they explained it all, that he went online and chat and also said he understand about wrestling. Look, I don't know if this guy understands the alphabet. He's stupid. I mean, you watch this guy talk, and then he definitely has some issues. I don't know what I meant to look it up, damn it. I want to know his height and weight, because I got a feeling he's like in the 5'6", 5'7" category. Because
He's shorter than me.
Well, aren't you over
I'm
6?
I'm 5'11".
You're close to 6. All right. I have a feeling he's dealt with a lot, because he says it afterwards when he's outside the building now, heading back towards his car, and his cameraman's trying to calm him down, get him away from the scene a bit. And he's like, no, I'm tired of being called a bitch by people. I'm tired of people saying I'm a bitch. So he's got ego issues in general. Who knows how far back these date? Maybe this is a school thing that's carried over now, and he's going to be an MMA star, which, by the way, that'd be like me being...
That's done.
Yeah, let me be the son of Wayne Gretzky and then try having a hockey career, you know? Michael Jordan's son played for UCF, and then it was over. Your dad's Rampage Jackson, you want to go into the UFC, and then you were 0-1 and right out the gate, so... That's probably not going to happen, so you can't do anything else. You're not going to go to college because you're an idiot. What's left? I guess the next step in the natural progression is you got to go rob some stores. Strong arm robbery, that's what's next. Because you're done with MMA. Sure as hell ain't going to go into pro wrestling anytime soon. Although I'm sure there's a few trainers that would be like, no, come on in, no problem. Let us show you a thing or two. He did that shit out of pure butthurt because his ego. Yeah, again, when you see all the shit he was talking afterwards, in the pacing in the parking lot, and then he gets the call from the Black Pearl saying, dude, what the fuck, man? You were only supposed to double leg him. And now the guy's like flatline the ring. How does he respond? My bad. You're bad? No, sir. Doesn't work that way. I'm sorry. Didn't work for OJ either. I mean, at least OJ spent a couple of years in prison waiting for his day in court.
One way or the other, it's not going to be. He might get off, but I can't see them letting him back in the MMA after that, especially if he goes to trial over it and shit. So, whatever future he might have had for that, that's fucking done. And like I said, any vet out there worth their fucking salt will fucking just be itching to fucking get their hands on his ass. So all I can say is watch your back, son.
And by the way, not only just that, Rampage said he had 2 kids going to college, and he has 2 sons that he's saving bail money for.
Right.
So we might want to get the other one on the radar now. Kind of put a GPS.
Don't let him in any wrestling ring.
Well, you might not want to be anywhere near him, period. So I'm saying put some GPS on these fuckers so we know where they are and we can avoid those areas. I mean, this guy might end up in a nightclub doing some crazy shit.
Yeah, that's true.
But when your dad's saying, I know he's going to need bail money, so I saved some for him, I'll tell you what, man, I almost want to figure out if you can't get Rampage involved in this where you're suing his ass because you're the parent that couldn't do your job.
Yeah.
I mean, how bad are you at being a parent that you know you got to save bail money for your kid? You couldn't have just raised him? You couldn't have spent that money on tutors? Maybe the back of your hand a couple of times so you didn't act like a fucking piece of shit? But they're grown adults now, so no, they're not going to hold him accountable. But it'd be nice to see them find a way to do it. And that's a policy that should start happening. Maybe Trump can get on this in the next year. I've always said it. You drive a car? That's a question.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were being...
No.
Yeah, I drive.
Yeah, me too. What do we have in common?
We have licenses.
So to drive a car, you have to have a license.
Yeah.
You own a gun?
Anyways.
You own a gun?
No.
Oh.
No.
Well, if you did in the right state and want to carry it, you got to have a license.
A license. I like my crossbows and shit. I'm more Daryl that way.
That's fair enough. If you ever drive a tractor trailer, you got to have a special license.
Yes, a CDL.
Food handling people have to have a license in many cases.
Yep, I have had. Yep.
So why the fuck don't parents have to have a license? This letting
It's called a
anyone...
marriage license.
No.
It's called a marriage license.
No. That just says that you're now entitled to half my shit when we break up. That's all that
It's
shit's
still
for.
a license.
To be a parent, you should be going through classes that you complete with a passing grade, period. And if you can't do that,
I agree with that.
you're not allowed to have kids. We're just letting the lowest form of life reproduce that the rest of society has to be responsible for. And this is what you get. And it proves, when I say lowest form, people are going to say, oh, what are you saying, the poor people? Rampage Jackson has plenty of money. Plenty of money. Money didn't make him a good parent. The fact that he sucks as a parent and a human being made him a bad parent and produced this offspring. Had he had to be put through a licensing process, he never would have had kids. And I think part of that licensing has to incorporate both parents that are going to conceive a child. Because it sounds like if he's had multiple wives, sounds like the Japanese wife, and let's think about culture. Japanese culture, very family-oriented.
Mm-hmm.
Hardcore family-oriented. And those
The
kids are
other
going to
thing that
college.
stop-
I'd be curious to know what Mama Jackson looks like on the other side here for Raja.
I'm of the opinion that until the age of 18, if your kid does something to cause bodily harm to somebody else or anything like that, you get the same charges that the kid gets.
Oh, under 18, the parents
'Cause
are
it's your
liable.
fucking-
Under 18,
Are they?
oh yeah. Like if a kid 17 steals a car
Okay.
and then crashes it into other cars or kills people, the parents are liable. Parents are liable. And almost,
I
as
mean-
far as I know, in every state.
I mean, not just financially. I want them to have to do time too.
That has happened in cases. That has happened in cases.
I thought it had.
Yeah, no, in the last 2 years, and I can't remember what the situation, it wasn't like a carjacking kind of thing. But it was a scenario where a kid's behavior cost somebody dearly, whether it was financially, and I don't think it was. I think it was more physically, and that the parent was actually imprisoned. And it needs to happen a lot more, because then,
Yeah, it does.
then you're going to have two things. You're going to have people that shouldn't be having kids not having kids. That's a win. And the people that do have kids are going to start raising them because they don't want to go to jail. But there's no ramifications. And I remember, personally, many years ago when my sister was under 18, she was rambunctious at 16 and 17. And she would go out the window and be, hanging out with friends till 3 or 4 in the morning. My mom was losing her shit over this and called the cops. And the cops told her, you cannot kick her out of the house, but I can't keep her in the house. She's finding ways to get out. She's going out through the window. Bar up the window if you have to. I can't bar up. What if there's a fire? I can't bar up the window. He said, well, all I can tell you, ma'am, is you cannot kick her out of the house until she's 18. And while she's out and about, if she does anything that's illegal that leads to property destruction, theft of people's personal items or properties, you are going to be held liable. What makes you want to have a kid?
Now, I do know.
Good.
I do know here in Ohio that if you have what they deem an unruly child, like you were just describing about your sister, a parent can contact social services and they will take and put the child in
Juvenile
DH to try to get them, to try to get them straightened out. If you can't control them, if they're that bad,
there are some
but
programs.
A lot of parents don't want to, but a lot of parents don't want to fucking do that. They don't want to waste the time on it.
Well, like I said, if you make enough examples of people and you start putting them in jail, they're going to not consider it a waste of time. They'll look at it as more of a salvation.
Or do like my dad did with me and what I did to my children. I brought you into this fucking world. You cause me anything but good times, I'll fucking take you out of this world.
Dude, those days are so over. So over now.
They shouldn't be.
They're over now because the governments have said you can't hit your kids. Every generation was raised by getting smacked, swatted, switched, hit with a shoe, hit with wooden spoons. You name it, we got hit with it. And we didn't turn out fucked up. We didn't walk around with purple hair and things coming out our noses. The minute you came up with timeouts, give them a timeout. Look what we got now. You got Harry Sisson.
Yeah.
That's what timeout gets you. A bunch of soy boys, a bunch of weak human beings, no character people that think they know shit when they don't know a damn thing. And guess what? You put one of them in the back in a wrestling scenario, and you have a near murder. Live stream, by the way. All right. Well, that's all I got on this one. I don't plan on doing another one on this one unless something really major happens out of this. I keep on checking TMZ because, man, these are the guys that are going to get it first. If he gets arrested and incarcerated and booked, it's going to be on TMZ within minutes. Harvey's got people on the inside that give him the hot tips.
Oh, yeah. And I like listening to him, too, because with him being an attorney, he can, when we were discussing the laws and stuff like that, you know, he'll be the one to say, well, they can do this. They may not be able to do that, but this is where they can get. So, yeah, I like listening when it comes to shit like this, just for that aspect and to know what his take on, like, what they can and can't do. And I'll be really interested to see if the police pick this up or not. We'll see.
Well, they have
like
to.
Like you said, it is L.A.
They have to at least arrest him and book him. Now, whether they do anything beyond that, hard to say. But that's bare minimum.
A lot of that will probably, I was going to say, a lot of that will probably depend on Psycho. So,
you know, funny thing about Harvey. Funny thing about Harvey is I watched him all the time on People's Court for many, many years. And never knew he was gay until maybe, I don't know, 10 years ago, I guess, when it was just something that was matter-of-factly said, like it wasn't a big secret. And I'm like, well, it was a secret to me. I didn't know. And I never would have guessed him for being gay either until, like, if no one ever told me, I would have figured it out a few weeks ago. Because if you saw the clip of when Hogan died, they were in their little newsroom there, and he's already hearing a buzz that this may have happened. And he's trying to get people on the phone, and one of his guys in the back, it's confirmed, it's official, he's dead at 71. And he like, okay, everybody come with me. And he starts to like go away from the camera, and he has this little sachet swishy thing going on. And I'm like, okay, I would have seen it there. That got me. I would have seen that. I guess they always had him just standing in People's Court with a microphone. He didn't do any little pirouettes or anything. But boy, he was like, okay, ladies, let's go.
That, and it's a little hard to do a sachet when you got a 3-piece suit on. So
yeah, he dresses more casual there. I just remember thinking, 10 years I knew this guy was gay. I still wouldn't have guessed it. And then all of a sudden I watched that moment. It's like, okay, that time I would have guessed it.
Yeah, right.
All right, folks. That's the latest news on Raja Jackson. And I'm sure there's more about that to come out in the very near future. Let's see if I'm right. Does he get away with it? I got a feeling, man, if it were a lot of other states, not a chance in hell. But you're in California, man, and I just think if you're going to pull that shit, you pick the right place. You will find a jury.
Can we please get an earthquake on that fucking fault line and get rid of that state finally, please? I mean, I don't ask for much.
No, just a
God damn it!
Just a physical removal of a portion of the United States into the ocean.
It's not like it's an important part anymore.
You remember that $6 million man doll that I wanted? You remember the $6 million man doll I wanted for Christmas that you didn't give me? Okay, this will be a get even here. Okay, we'll call it even. Just sink all of California into the ocean, and then we'll forget about the other.
He can even do a whole Noah thing. You know, if you've got your people out there, a few good ones, let them know ahead of time. Say, hey, I'm about to sink this fucker. Pack up and go east. You don't have to go past the Mississippi because it's kind of fucked up up that way too. But stay in the central area of the United States because I'm about to Level this shit.
I don't know how people live in that state. I'll never understand it. There's nothing normal about that. But tell you what, seeing what happened to D.C. in the last 7 days and how they cleaned that up, turn that shit loose on California, man. If you can't do it, we'll do it for you.
I mean, on my bucket list is going to the San Diego Comic-Con. I ain't doing it anytime soon just because I don't want to go to that fucking state, so...
It's funny. I'm watching video of people like their own personal videos now in the same places that were overrun with tents and homeless and crime. And they're just sitting out there and there's people walking their dogs and there's only like 2 or 3 people on the whole street and they're just interacting with each other. It's like, can you believe how nice it is now and all that? And it's like, I actually wouldn't mind going to D.C. now to, go visit the Capitol and things like that.
Right.
And not feel like I'm going to be all of a sudden incarcerated for... doing something January 6th related by visiting. Oh, you're wearing a Trump hat? Oh, got to arrest him. All right, everybody. That's going to wrap it up for this one. This is kind of a news story, though, you just couldn't turn away from. That's what made me do it at 2 in the morning. I was like, I'm not going to sleep without saying something about this. So there's that. All right. We'll catch you with the next one. Say goodnight, Jay.
Good night, Jay.
Good night, everybody. We'll see you next time for more Wrestlechat on the Nation Network. I actually watched a little bit of AEW, not a lot. Just enough to remind me why I don't watch it. Oh, this is already funny. Just a headline. The list of moves and actions that are now banned from AEW or need to be approved by the company.
Maybe that's why Nash is pissed off, because he went for Brock and Austin and not try to duplicate him.
Well, it'd be easier to duplicate him. You only have to learn 5 moves.
Like you said, and we've all been saying, Tony Khan, you need a hierarchy, and he gets one, and then we make fun of it.
Because he's sitting back there talking about the Brock match, and finally we had a wrestling match. Finally we got 2 guys telling a story. They weren't outside the ring the whole time. One of them
was he not watching the same match as we were?
Yeah, those games, man, I would say, like, for me, like, the best ones, I would say, are, like, the ones where they try to get a certain, like, time.
This is my entire IT team right here on screen. Everybody.